Hey everyone, it's Angela.
And Douglas.
We're just back from our carnival cruise on the Fantasy. We took a friendship cruise and I was really excited to go this time because this is the first time that I was able to attend the cruise with all of our friends that are also avid cruisers. So it was a lot of fun. We wanted to share some things that happened to us on this cruise so that when you attend our wedding cruise next year, hopefully things can go a lot smoother for you guys. We did have a fantastic trip. There was a few little new things that surprised us and things that we weren't prepared for and things that we should have done pre-cruise. So that's what we're going to share with you today.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to let Douglas go ahead and talk about the Halloween festivities.
Okay. Looks like, from what I gathered, starting this year, which was like 2018, they're actually starting doing these Halloween events. They call it Frightfully Fun during this whole day, month of October, where every cruise they will actually do the Halloween theme thing. So that will definitely include, I'm just saying off the top of my head, of course, costume contests for sure. They'll do like little trick-or-treating, especially for the little kids. And they have like a Halloween crawl or costume crawl for the adults for specialty drinks that's possible. So there's actually a lot of fun.
Just a lot of pumpkin carvings. There's a lot of Halloween activities that we were not expecting on this cruise. We thought, they've been on Halloween cruises in the past, Douglas and his friends, but they were more towards Halloween. So we were surprised that they actually did a lot of the Halloween activities earlier in October. So we're assuming, and we're pretty sure that they're going to do the same thing when we get married. So if you want to participate in the Halloween activities, get your costume ready. Just know that there will be a lot of fun events for kids and adults too.
Exactly.
All right. One of the other things you need to do to prepare for your cruise that I totally forgot to do on this cruise was to let your banking and credit card institutions know that you will be out of the country. Luckily, Douglas covered me, but there was a couple of times I wanted to use my credit card and he reminded me that I did not inform the banks and the credit card institutions that I was out of the country and I didn't want my card to get shut down. So luckily he covered me and I paid him back later. But you definitely want to do that ahead of time. Now, on the cruises before, I've always linked my credit card to your sign and sale card, which I'll let Douglas explain the sign and sale cards. We've gone over this in the past, but these are linked to your main credit card, but because Douglas paid for my cruise this time, everything was linked to his credit card. Now, if you are traveling as a couple or you're going with a roommate, you can put your own credit card on your own folio number. There was a couple of times I wish I had put my credit card so we weren't charging everything on his card. So make sure you tell your banks you're going to be out of your country. And
some of them will definitely allow you online, through their website or even through an app if that's possible. But some of them, of course, will still direct you to a toll-free number to have that
really
taken care
easy.
of. So it should be very easy.
Just don't forget to do it. Okay. And then also Faster the Fun, we've explained in the past. I'm not going to go over that a lot, but it gives you VIP embarkment, disembarkment, your room's ready earlier. You can go into some VIP lines like customer service. You don't have to wait in a long line. You could just go straight up.
Guest services line, that's what it is.
Right, guest services. Your luggage usually gets to your room a little bit faster. So let me tell you, the trick with Faster the Fun is they only have a limited number, and that depends on how many Diamond and Platinum members are attending. Then they'll open up some Faster the Fun spaces, so you want to watch out for that because they don't offer very many, and you want to, if it's available, you want to grab it while you can.
Yes.
It just makes getting on and off the ship 10 times more enjoyable. So try to grab that if you can. You don't really have to worry about getting on the ship, but if you're worried about getting off the ship and having your room ready, you may want to go ahead and purchase that. But our wedding guests, I believe, will be getting on the ship before everyone else. So, but if you, like I said, if you want your room, then go ahead and grab that. Next, I'm going to have Douglas tell you about the parking and the luggage tags.
Okay, so we ran across this. Surprisingly, we run across this when we got to the Port of Mobile. So the thing is, our porter that actually gets our luggage, he actually asks for our boarding pass and ID, and
which we were not expecting. They
Not
didn't do
expecting.
that in other ports. So just to have that on hand as soon as you pull to the parking deck, make sure that you have all your documentation in hand because it goes really quick.
yeah. But after that, that should be
And then
Okay.
also, you like the very first time we went to Mobile, I didn't have all my luggage tags on my luggage yet because I thought we were going to have time to park and then turn in our luggage, but that's not how it works in Mobile. As soon as you pull in the deck, they grab your luggage. So you want to make sure that you have your printed off luggage tags. We bought these little plastic things. So make sure you have your luggage tags already on your luggage so they can just grab them and you can go. You want to talk about the pricing for parking?
the pricing is just based on, of course, that's set by the Port of Mobile, and this one just any ports of that you're coming out of, and they definitely price it by the day. So
for a
You
5-day trip like our wedding, it's going to be approximately $90. And you want to get your pre-parking ahead of time. It just saves a lot of time and effort when you're trying to get on the ship. So pre-order your parking online.
that would be the
And
best
if you
case
want
do.
to have covered parking, so like when we were leaving the port this time, we did not have covered parking and it was pouring down rain. So if you want to have the covered parking, you'll have to get there extremely early.
Yeah.
I think a lot of our wedding guests will be staying in a hotel the night before and will be shuttled over from the hotel. So this probably won't be an issue for most people. But if you are coming and you have to park, especially for the day, then just try to get there super early if you want covered parking.
Exactly.
All right. The other thing that I did, which I didn't think about till later, was I forgot to turn my cellular can't say that word watch into airplane mode. Like any devices that you may have, cell phones, tablets, smartphones, want to make sure they're in airplane mode so you don't receive the roaming charges. I forgot to do it the first day on my watch because I actually just upgraded my watch. My previous watch did not have the cell service. And I'm just really hoping that we weren't charged for that. So that's another little
Yeah,
trick.
pretty much anything that uses cellular signal. Yeah, try to put it into airplane mode when you're
You want to talk about the drinks?
on board. Okay, so now we're on board. Let's talk about drinks. Okay, we pretty much definitely say that the drinks that you have on board while you're still in port are the most expensive drinks you get, because not only are dealing with the, of course, prices set on board, which is pretty much the price plus a automatic gratuity that's placed, but you also have to deal with the port, the taxes of the city or state that
An
whether it
Alabama
is
tax.
run there. So that's just a little extra. So that's
So
the only.
your drinks can be really expensive on that first day while we're still in port if you order. Now, they usually do have one drink special that's really low so that it kind of evens it out. So if you're going to order a drink the first day, kind of stick with their specials, or just know that your drink is going to cost you a lot more while we're in port that very first day.
Yep.
All right, and I'm going to have Douglas explain the bingo.
All right, let's talk about bingo. So bingo, they definitely do it on the ship. You mostly find out through your Fun Times schedule, or even your Carnival app that you can download for free. So mostly these bingo packages, they start out, they do different amounts during the day. They pretty much start out with 1,000 on one day, and then it could grow up to 5,000 on the last day if you get it as anyways. I'll go back to that real quick, but mostly the bingo packages that you'll have 3 sessions for each bingo that they have. So the first 2 will be the normal prizes, depending on how many has purchased the packages. And the packages are as follows. Like the lowest one is like $20, and you get like 3 cards per session. So that's a total of 9 cards for that particular session that you can play on. The second tier is $30, which is 6 per session. So 6 times 3, that's 18 cards that you can play
So
with.
18 cards for the whole session,
Yes.
for the whole time of bingo.
And you also get crazy cash, like a pool game, free pool game. That
It's similar to a scratch-off card, like a lottery
Pretty much.
scratch-off, but you pull the tab instead of scratching.
Yeah, but the biggest package is, of course, $40, which is 9 cards, which is 27 altogether. You still get one of those pull tab cards, and you also get a dabber to play for bingo, which are very nice because without it, you had to pay like $2 for one of these.
Right.
If on the lower
And you don't
packages.
have to get a dabber, but make sure you bring an ink pen. They require ink. Bingo is going to be charged to your sale and sign card.
Yes.
They'll have a little form for you
Yep.
to fill out. Also, just be aware that if it says like the top prize is like $5,000, that's not exactly true. Usually the top prize is like $700. They do this like let's make a deal thing, and all the amounts add up to $5,000, but it's impossible really to win the $5,000.
Right.
So really your top prize will be more like in the $750 range. Now, on our very first cruise, I did win $175. Plus, I won a pull tab of $5, so that was really great, and it gave it to me as like an onboard credit. So I won it, and then it was great because then anything I had bought on board, it just kind of minused it out.
And just real quick, for the $5,000 jackpot bingo that they mostly have at the end, is you have to cover all with a certain number of numbers that were pulled in order to get the $5,000.
Oh yeah, so
if you
it
don't
is
get a
possible.
bingo, if you don't get a bingo by that time, then it'll just.
So actually, it is possible to win the
It's
$5,000.
possible, but it's
difficult, but it's
difficult,
possible.
but it's possible.
Okay.
You are right.
All right. I forgot about that.
So that's.
All right,
So
now we're going to
that's how
talk
you do
about
that bingo.
disembarkment. You want to tell them about the customs forms?
Okay, so on previous cruises, you normally had to fill out a U.S. Customs form for anything that you were bringing back, of course, onto U.S. soil. And pretty much for Mexico was, for example, that would be an example. But most of the time, they will. I think starting with like these other cruises, maybe like last year, really late last year. If you're really under the limits, which is I cannot recall the limits off the top of my head.
Wasn't it like $600?
$600
I think it was like $600.
Yeah,
And you
$600
don't have to fill out your customs
for
forms.
souvenirs like that.
Now, but buying liquor is a different story. If you buy liquor on the ship, they will wrap it up and hold it for you until the last day of your cruise.
The
morning of disembarkment. If you buy liquor in a port, let's say in Mexico, as you come back on the ship, again, they will hold it for you until that last day.
Exactly.
And there'll be 2 different lines to go get the liquor from. That was a little chaotic trying to get the liquor this time.
It was.
It wasn't marked clear, so you may want to ask somebody what line you need to be in. Because Douglas and his friend Laura went really early to get the liquor, and it was unorganized. So I don't know if we're going to buy liquor again, even though it's a good deal because you're not paying tax. But I don't know. It was kind of not worth the hassle, in my opinion. So we may not do that again, but you may want to just be organized if you do that.
But going back to the custom form, you don't have to fill that out if you're below the limits, which they'll definitely bring you the limits on the disembarkament meetings that they actually play out. If you miss it on the ship, they'll play it on their TVs, so you know what the limits are.
Okay, we're going to talk about disembarkment a little bit. If you are checking your bags, what they ask you to do is to pack your bags and put them outside your door the night before. I think it's midnight, like before midnight.
Probably 11:30,
the day
really.
before. Right. So make sure your tags are on there and that everything is out. That if you want the porters to bring down your bag. Now we are faster than fun always, and we always just carry off our bags. It's just a lot quicker to do that. But we're also able to. Some people aren't able to carry off their bags, but we usually try to pack light enough that it's not that big of a deal getting off the ship. Also with disembarkment, depending on your status level and your room numbers, they will call you to go to different rooms to wait to get off the ship.
Yes. Normally you would get these little things right there if you're packing your bags and leaving it off at night. But otherwise, you mostly just have a letter saying where you should be, especially for Faster Than Fun, where you should be for
So-
your either carry off or checked luggage.
Right. So they'll have special rooms for you to go to wait. It does get a little tricky because they start blocking off different walkways. So
It does,
the earlier, the better you can get to your room that you're supposed to be in to disembark.
But
is
if you
good.
know your way to the ship, you can cut through.
Yeah, we know
some
we know
ways.
some little tricks and shortcuts to get to where we need
Mm-hmm.
to be, so we're not waiting forever for elevators. Or if you're capable, a lot of people just like to take the steps, but the elevators do get crowded on disembarkment day. That's why we really love to do Faster the Fun, because we can get off the ship pretty quick. Especially if you're trying to catch a flight somewhere, you want to get off the ship as soon as possible. But if you're not in a hurry to get off the ship, go have a late breakfast and just wait.
Yep.
I think it's 10:30 or 11 you have to be off the ship, but we usually get
Yes.
up like around 5 or 6 and then have a quick breakfast and then make it to our meeting room, because we know that we're going to be the first ones off the ship. Also, you might want to get a passport. It's not required to have a passport to go to Mexico on the ship, but we found that the passport lines are empty. Like everybody with birth certificates and licenses, those lines are long getting back into the country. But with our passports, we just breeze right on through. So I highly recommend getting a passport if you are able to. It'll be so much quicker getting off the
It
ship.
would be.
I think
yes.
we got off the ship last time, less than 30 minutes?
I think so.
Maybe
yes.
like 20 minutes it only took us to get off the ship, which was amazing.
Amazing.
Okay, is there anything else you want to add, sweetie?
I think we covered it.
All right.
We covered what we can.
All right. Bye, guys. We love you all.
Love
We'll
y'all.
see you at our wedding.
Bye.
Bye.